Detective Sarah Chen stood at the crime scene. 3 gang members unconscious on the ground, not a single gunshot wound. The witness was shaking. It was an old man, maybe in his 70s. He was just there. And then? And then what? Chen asked. It was over in seconds. Like he barely moved, but they were all on the ground. Chen frowned. Nobody in the neighborhood knew a man like that. Or they knew but weren't talking. 48 hours earlier, when Marcus "Ghost" Rivera first met that old man, he had no idea his life was about to change forever. Welcome to Echo Tales, where ordinary people reveal extraordinary strength. Before we dive into today's story, if you enjoy powerful tales of second chances, redemption, and unexpected mentorship, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We share real-life inspired stories every single day. And here's a question for you: has someone changed the direction of your life? An unexpected lesson from an unlikely place? Drop a comment below and let us know where you're watching from today. We love hearing from viewers around the world. Whether you're watching from Philadelphia, Los Angeles, or anywhere in the world, you've probably seen someone headed down the wrong path. Maybe you thought they deserved a second chance. Maybe you were that person yourself. Today's story is about Marcus "Ghost" Rivera, a 19-year-old feared gang leader on the streets. And Walter Morrison, a 68-year-old quiet chess teacher. When they met, one came with a gun. The other came with a chessboard. And only one could see the real future. Marcus "Ghost" Rivera had grown up in South Philadelphia, where the streets taught him one rule: be strong or die. At 19, he was strong. At least that's what he believed. Gray's Ferry was his territory. Every block between 52nd Street and Woodland Avenue, every corner, every business, all under his control. Los Fantasmas, the ghosts, recognized him as leader because Marcus feared nothing. Nobody and nothing. His mother, Maria Rivera, had lost him when he was 7. Not to drugs, to cancer. His father had never existed. His Aunt Carmen tried to raise him, but the streets raised him faster. First fight at 12. First arrest at 14. First gun at 16. Gang leader at 18. Now at 19, Marcus felt untouchable. Police on payroll. Rivals afraid. Business running smooth. Only one problem: the small chess club on 52nd Street. Walt's chess club sat in the corner building, faded red brick with glass windows reading "Open to All." Walter Morrison, everyone called him Walt, had been running it for 20 years. The club was simple. 6 chess tables in the front room, coffee machine and old bookshelf in the back. Walls covered with photos from old chess tournaments, taken in the 70s, yellowed, most showing young black men focused over chessboards. Walt opened every day at 3 p.m., closed at 9 p.m. Free admission. Rules were simple. Be respectful, learn, grow. No drugs, no violence, no cursing. The neighborhood loved Walt but didn't understand him. He was 68, lived alone, never talked about his past. Nobody knew where he came from, if he had family, or why he ran a chess club. But everyone knew one thing: Walt was untouched. Gang wars came and went, bullets flew, but Walt's chess club was never harmed. Like there was invisible protection. Marcus saw this as weakness. Old gang respect maybe. Or everyone was waiting for someone to make the first move. Either way, it was time for Marcus to end it. It was Tuesday afternoon when Marcus walked into the club. Behind him, 3 men, Diego, Flaco, and Memo. All armed. All ready. He pushed the door open. Inside, 6 old men were playing chess. One man, Walt, sat alone at a table, working through a problem with a wooden set. Marcus waited a few seconds, expecting a reaction. None of them looked up. "Yo," Marcus raised his voice. "Y'all hear me?" Walt moved a piece, eyes on the board. "We hear you, son. Just don't care." Laughter behind him. Marcus's face flushed. Listen, old man, Marcus walked forward, standing by Walt's table. This is my territory. Every business pays me protection. You don't. Correct, Walt finally looked up. His eyes were calm, assessing. I don't. Then you close down. No. The simple word hung in the air. Marcus paused. Nobody told him no. Ever. What did you say? Walt leaned back, arms crossed. I'm not closing. But I can offer you a deal. Diego laughed behind him. Old man's crazy. But Marcus noticed something. Walt wasn't afraid. Not at all. Actually, he was comfortable. Like he'd had this conversation 1,000 times. What deal? Marcus asked, despite himself. Walt gestured to the board. One game. You and me. You beat me, I close the club. You lose. He smiled. You sit here and listen to me. How many games? 1. That's all it takes. Marcus laughed. Chess. Old man, I'll destroy you in 10 minutes. Walt smiled, but his eyes didn't. Then you got nothing to fear, right? The challenge was clear. Marcus looked back, Diego shrugged, Flaco grinned. He couldn't back down. Would look weak. Fine, Marcus sat in the opposite chair. Let's do this. Walt gave Marcus the white pieces. You start. Marcus opened with e4 pawn, the only opening he knew. Walt responded with c5, the Sicilian defense. Marcus brought out his knights, Walt developed his bishops. The first 5 moves passed in silence. Then Walt moved his queen, finding a small weakness in Marcus's position. See? Walt asked quietly. Your pawn on e4 is undefended. You left it open while you focused elsewhere. Marcus frowned. Just play, old man. Walt captured. Marcus retaliated but was forced to defend. 5 moves later, Walt had won another piece. The problem is, Walt explained, speaking as if teaching a lesson with each move. You play aggressive but you don't defend. You attack but you don't protect. Defense is for the weak. No, Walt castled his king to safety. Defense is for the smart. For the strong. Attack is easy. But surviving? That's hard. Marcus studied the board. His position was collapsing. Walt was pressuring everywhere. 10 moves later, Marcus was checkmated. Silence. Diego and the others shifted uncomfortably. Walt collected the pieces. Again? Marcus felt frustrated. Nah, this was stupid dash. You scared? Marcus stopped. What? You lost once. Now you refuse to learn. That's fear. Or pride. Both will kill you. Marcus took a deep breath. One more. The next game lasted longer. Walt played slowly, explaining moves, showing Marcus each mistake. Look, Walt demonstrated a position. You moved your knight but now your bishop's trapped. You're losing 2 pieces to gain 1. Like the streets, small victory, big cost. Marcus listened, unwillingly. Walt's explanations made sense. Not just about chess. In the third game, Marcus created his first real threat. Walt defended but struggled. Good, Walt nodded. You're learning. But still too hasty. Patience, son. All good things need time. By 5 p.m., they'd played 4 games. Marcus had lost them all but was getting better each time. And he noticed something, he wasn't angry anymore. He was curious. All right, Marcus stood. I'll come back tomorrow. Walt smiled. I knew you would. But don't get it twisted, Marcus added. You still in my territory, old man. Still got rules. Understood, Walt said quietly. But Marcus, one question. Why are you here? What you mean? Why are you a gang leader? Why this life? Did you choose it or did it choose you? Marcus stopped. Nobody had ever asked him that. Doesn't matter, he finally said. Everything matters, son. Every move counts. Come tomorrow. We'll talk. Next day, Marcus came alone. Diego asked but Marcus said, personal business. Walt was ready, board set up. But this time there were 2 coffee cups too. Coffee? Walt offered. Marcus took it. Why you doing this? What? This. Chess club. Free. You ain't making nothing. Walt leaned back. Let me tell you a story. Long time ago, there was a kid. Had nothing. No father, mother worked, neighborhood was swallowing him. Nobody cared. Marcus listened, hearing pain in Walt's voice. Kid joined a gang at 16. Had to be hard. Had to be strong. And he was. So strong people died. And one day, at 24, he went to prison. Walt paused, sipping his coffee. In prison, there was a man. Old, calm. Taught chess. And he said something, power isn't a choice. Mercy is a choice. And only the strong can be merciful. Marcus's heart raced. What happened to that man? Which one? The kid, man, did 15 years. Got out at 39. The old man died a year later. But the lesson stayed. Walt looked directly at Marcus. That man lived another 30 years. Left the streets. Opened this club. And tried to save every kid who looked like Marcus. Silence. You. Marcus's voice was a whisper. You were that kid. Walt nodded. They called me War. Walter Morrison. Ran Philly's worst gang. Killed people. Made money. Was powerful. His hands rested on the table, scars telling their stories. But power didn't give me happiness. Didn't give me peace. Just loneliness. In prison I learned, real power is choosing mercy when you're strong. Marcus leaned back, head spinning. Why you telling me? Because I see me in you. 50 years ago. Same anger, same fear, same loneliness. But we can write a different ending. Next 3 weeks, Marcus came every day. Sometimes they played chess. Sometimes they just talked. Walt told stories about his past, violence, loss. But also redemption, growth, second chances. Marcus started sharing his own stories. About his mother. About his aunt. About growing up in the neighborhood. How he felt he had to be strong. If I'm weak, Marcus said one day, the gang will finish me. Rivals will kill me. Can't survive. No, Walt corrected. Can't survive alone. But being strong can mean different things. Power is protecting community. Raising young people. Showing the right path. Marcus tried to process this. Then the incident happened. Friday night of the 4th week, Marcus was leaving the club. Diego texted him, situation. Come. When Marcus reached the corner, Diego, Flaco, and Memo were there. Across from them, a rival gang, Southside Kings, 3 men. What's going on? Marcus asked. They're moving into our territory, Diego explained. Disrespect. Marcus looked at the King's leader, young, in his 20s, same anger in his eyes. Old Marcus would have attacked immediately. Show of force. Send a message. But now he could hear Walt's voice, every move is a choice. Wait, Marcus raised his hand. What? Diego was shocked. Marcus walked to the King's leader. What's your name? Why you care? Because talking's easier than fighting. What's your name? The kid hesitated. Andre. All right, Andre. Here's the situation, this corner's mine. But I'll make you a deal. 1 game. Chess. You beat me, corner's yours. You lose, you stay north side. Andre laughed. Chess. You crazy? You scared? The challenge worked. Andre's pride. Fine. Let's do it. When they returned to Walt's chess club, Walt was still there. Marcus explained the situation. Walt nodded. Interesting solution. The game began. Marcus applied everything he'd learned: patience, strategy, defense. Andre was aggressive but inexperienced. 20 moves later, Marcus won. Andre stood up, angry but surprised. This is stupid. One game doesn't change street rules. It does if we decide it does, Marcus said. Andre, listen. We can keep killing. Keep fighting. But what's the end? Prison? Death? Andre stayed quiet. Or we try something different. Maybe gangs work together. Maybe we show young people a different path. Walt watched from the corner, smiling with pride. Andre took a deep breath. I gotta think. Good. Think. But Andre, know this choice ain't forever. You gotta choose again every day. Detective Sarah Chen returned to Walt's chess club. After 3 days of investigation, she'd pieced together the story. Marcus's move hadn't sat well with other gangs. Old heads who wanted old ways. Elders who wanted shows of force. 3 members decided to kill Marcus. They waited outside Walt's club. But Walt was waiting. And Walter Morrison might have retired, but he hadn't forgotten. Chen found the records at the precinct. Walt, in 1976, was Philadelphia's most feared gang leader. Close combat specialist. Convicted on 10 charges. Did 15 years. But clean record since 1991. Model citizen. Youth mentor. The 3 attackers saw Walt as old and weak. Within seconds, all 3 were on the ground, broken bones and concussions but alive. Walt had reported it himself to police. Self-defense. That's all. Chen found Walt at the club. Marcus was there, and Andre too, 2 former enemies learning chess together. Mr. Morrison, Chen said. The attackers won't press charges. They're scared. But I have questions about your file. Walt nodded. I understand. But detective, these young men matter more than my file. I'm trying to give them a second chance. Like I was given. Chen looked at Marcus and Andre. Both were listening carefully. Second chances, Chen said slowly. I was saved by someone like that once. Street cop, put me on the right path. She smiled. I'll write my report, self-defense. Clean. But Mr. Morrison, keep these kids straight. I will, detective. Promise. Walt's chess club had expanded. Now 2 more rooms, one for homework, one for mentoring. Marcus and Andre worked together, merging 2 gangs into street monitors, neighborhood safety, not gang violence. Marcus enrolled in community college. Business classes. Walt supported him. One evening, tournament night, Marcus made his final move. Checkmate. His opponent, a kid from college, nodded. Good game. Walt applauded from the audience. Next to him sat former gang members, community leaders, and Detective Chen. After the tournament, Marcus approached Walt. Thank you, Marcus said quietly. For what? For not killing me. For giving me a chance. Walt put his hand on Marcus's shoulder. Son, I never met the man who gave me a chance. He died in prison. But his legacy lives on. Now your job is to pass it to someone else. Marcus looked around. The club was full, young people, old people, former gang members, all playing chess, learning, growing. I will, Marcus promised. Outside, the Philadelphia sun was setting, street lights coming on. Gray's Ferry was still a tough neighborhood. But in a small club, on a chessboard, the future was being built one move at a time. Because power wasn't just about what you could do. It was about what you chose not to do. And the strongest move, sometimes, was choosing mercy. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and become part of the Echo Tales community where we share powerful stories every day. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment below. We love hearing from our amazing viewers around the world.